Huh. That's strange. Another one? This is just getting kind of strange. This isn't even a person. Oh, well, this one's pink at least. Got some style, variation, breaking it up. This is just a bit of a stretch now, come on. Ken doesn't even have a house. And there's one waiting for me. What on earth? What has happened to the server? Hey guys, and welcome back to the backyard. It's an interesting episode here, an interesting start. I feel like I need to pull and live, pull and laugh, pull and love. Anyway, in today's episode, we have a plan. One that we've needed to do for quite some time. That is our little house here. Say little, it will be quite big once it's built, but it is lacking some walls, some supports. You know, it's mainly storage in here, but it really is only a storage area and then a bed. That's it. I need a house. I need somewhere to live, a roof over my head, and like anything other than open, exposed cactus that I will fly into every single time I want to make it back to my house. So I have a little bit of an idea for the build that will go as my house today. It's gonna be a little bit of an interesting one, but let's collect some materials and get started. Well, first things first, I think we should go through and do a little bit of a renovation to this area. Is while I do like... I opened the two worst chests to explain this. I do like how I have decided to sort things, so I have a bunch of different kinds of stone in here, and also sand and gravel. Over here, I have stone, cobblestone, and diorite, and andesite, all of those kinds of things. Oh, I've thrown my sword. And then in here, I have wood along this side, and then more natural blocks along this side, and then my miscellaneous other kinds of blocks all throughout, and more valuables in this whole area. Well, I do really like the setup of things. The ambiance in here is lacking. Here's my box of materials. We're going to be doing some white concrete powder, diorite, and calcite as our combination, which is a little bit of a sneak peek for what I plan to be our color palette for our main build here. We're also going to be using some blackstone as the roof, as well as spruce, jungle wood, and cherry logs, potentially as our different kinds of colors in this build. So I have a little bit of a mental plan for how this could go. We will see how it turns out. And yeah, we may as well just jump into a little bit of a time lapse. Yeah. was a temporary little plot twist? Side quest? I'm a jar of honey. And I've called 10 over to, do the honors. You know, the whole beheading procedure, you know? Just a few times. And, I'm gonna get a few of my heads. Both this one. Oh, it sounds like my murderer awaits me soon. Yippee, what fun, what choice, what value. Hello, are you ready?
Hello, I am ready.
The execution time. Yippee. Yeah, immediately die. This one's slightly different color.
What? Okay then.
I gotta show the different kinds of mead, you know?
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this one is slightly different.
Oh, this one's more yellow.
Yeah. And this is the rarest and the best. It's secretly just pee in a bottle.
Ew. Got 10 of each.
You want to keep one as a drunk driving experience? Yeah, there you go. Now you can drunk drive all over the yard.
I don't have a car.
Get one, you know, just buy one real quick. As a thank you for killing me, would you like a luxury item?
Is it a BH head?
An authentic BH head.
How did you get this?
I have my sources.
Thank you for the free heads.
Yeah, thank you! And just like that, we've supplied the server with alcohol. My evil plan is beginning. Now, to explain myself a little bit, in that last little clip, we got ourselves these 3 heads here. I say 3, there is in fact 30. I don't know how to count. I don't see as well put my armor back on and everything. Put all my crap back in my inventory that I definitely need to have on me at all times. Filling up all of the space that I have. But thanks to 10, we have ourselves 30 of these here heads. And yeah, we're going to use them to make fake mead. I have 3 variants here. We have the honey jars. So this would just be the raw honey itself without any water diluting it or added to it just yet. Then we have maybe this yellow one here as the fresh diluted honey water that then they would then ferment. And then we have this one which would be the fermented version of the mead. Fully made mead. This is how my house here is looking. And I was trying to come up with an idea as to why I have so much storage here in this basement. And at first I was thinking I could have like a cheese house or a winery, something along those lines, but then I just felt like none of those really felt right. I just didn't have enough space in here for cheese. I really wouldn't want cheese being made in a separate building like this, and I don't have any cows nearby to be milked as well. But I did have 3 hives on me that I could turn into some beehives here in the backyard. So we have 3 beehives. I tried to make them kind of old-fashioned medieval beehives inspired by the beehives in Skyrim, actually. This whole backyard with it being like fenced off and everything like that. A little bit of inspiration from the meadery in Riften. So we have that. This is where we collect the honey, harvest the honey from the bees, hope that the bees aren't slowly going insane, and we'll bring it inside here. This is where the stored mead would go in here. I'm gonna put some racks at the end here, and I think to display some of the aged mead. But in this little building here, which I added on like last minute as a potential little workshop, I also added this portion of the house here as the entrance on this side. I wanted to have a ramp, and I thought it would be nice having it covered from the rain. But on this side, I kind of tacked this on as a last minute thing. I didn't really plan to have this, but I figured there isn't enough room to do all of the distillery stuff in there. So having this as a little work room for all of the mead, I think is going to be a great idea. We also have a little well here, which is where we would get the water to be able to make the mead. I do want to make it clear though, I have only looked up a very brief description as to how mead is made. I don't actually really know, to be honest with you. I just looked up what the internet said, and I hope the internet doesn't lie to me. Anyway, don't drink and drive. We just have a silly little joke here on the server. If we make ourselves a little honey block, we can put that in here and have this be, I don't know, where we're mixing honey and water together. This is the soup. This is the soup that will then become the mead. So we'll have like maybe a little shelf here on this side, and this is going to be our like honey storage. We do have a little data pack though that makes trapdoors a little bit cheaty, but you know what? Let us be with our nice trapdoors. Why doesn't Mojang do this anyway? But yeah, on this one we will have our honey jars that we are going to now turn into the mead. Here we have the jars of honey that are going to then become the mead, and in the center here we will also maybe have some composters, which will also be areas to mix some mead. Nope, that doesn't work. Don't flood the ground. Oops. Maybe we'll get a cauldron then. I have a cauldron here in the corner filled with water. So we have the water, we have the honey, and then together we will combine them into some mead. And then here on this shelf, I am making exist as we speak, we will have some fresh mead that we have just now been putting together and making. Also get ourselves some barrels. Stop wasting all my spruce to make barrels. I have so much oak wood. You guys have no idea. Cutting down a whole forest gives you so much oak wood. Oh my goodness. I have so much oak wood. I am rich. Stop using my nice spruce to make my barrels. Okay, and then over here we might have a little bit of a ladder going up to a little loft section above the mead. And up here we might have like some more like big storage. Some proper barrels up here. Maybe where some honey gets stored. And then since we actually updated to 1.21.5 while I was away, actually, I haven't really talked about that. I haven't even had the chance. But I went on vacation for a little bit. As you might have known, there was a bit of a month where I wasn't quite on the server or anything like that. Not uploading or anything, and that was because one, I was taking a little bit of a break before my trip. But I did end up going to TwitchCon in Rotterdam and was able to go visit a few countries in Europe as well, which was very fun. But because of that, I have been away from the server. Been away for so long. And during that time, we updated the server to the new version, and I also, it might be stupid, I don't actually know if it's possible to craft the dead leaves. I don't know how you, do you do this? I think I'm cooking. I made it. I figured it out. Okay, we got some dried leaves. Oh my goodness, leaf litter. Historically as well, I haven't done it quite right. Yeah, I have lots of barrels, but historically, a lot of the time things were also stored in pots. But we're gonna say that we're a little bit more modern. I did make a slightly more modern, in quotations, building in comparison to the other ones that I've built, and that is on purpose. This is a much wealthier house and a much wealthier estate, so they would have had access to more modern, in quotations, technology. Yes, they have access to diorite and concrete powder. No way. What amazing things. I also incorporated some cherry wood into here as well, because I wanted to bring some pink as a color to the build, because I do like the whole spruce and jungle wood combination, especially that I have in combination over here with the oak wood. But I do think adding little pops of color, like here with the mahogany wood and over here with the cherry wood, is a nice little addition to the village, you know, adds a little bit of color. It makes it fun. Yeah. We got some pots in here as some storage for honey. No, that is not where I wanted the pot to go. I will have a pot up there, and then here. My goodness, they place so interestingly. A little bit dirty up here, you know, they haven't quite swept up here. Some wood that maybe could be used to boil the water before it gets turned into wine. Would they do that? Would they care about sanitation? I think they might. I think they might. This is a reputable meadery. This is not just any standard meadery. You know, maybe we'll have our own Raven Blackbriar here in town. No, I don't think we want that. It actually might be a little bit of fun to have a bit of a thieves guild or some kind of fun storyline of criminal activity in the city, but not today. Have a little door here because we probably want to keep out thieves and such. I imagine that you could close a lot of these archways and they wouldn't just be open all of the time, because that feels like a safety hazard, especially to the house. These stairs lead up right into my house. There's no door. Maybe we'll do something like this. So you know, there is a door here that opens and closes, but for right now it is open. And on this side, we'll have something less. Are doors less laggy? I don't know. I don't know how it works. But I'll use some doors here. Another door that opens and closes there. And who knows what else happens here. Maybe there's like shutters or something that come down from the ceiling. And they like just pull it up and down throughout the day. Who knows how that works? Yeah, we got honey. We got this. Maybe let's work on a little bit of a fireplace where they might cook some water. We could have that out in the open here. There's like a little stove here and maybe just some like firewood here in the corner over by the well. Yeah, the well has a little bit of water in it too, and I think it's an infinite source, so I can collect water in and actually use it. I might get another cauldron to put over the fire. How do we make it not float? is the next question. Okay, well, this could be a little campfire. We will have to move this then. But yeah, we have a little stove here where we will boil some water. Water gets boiled, it gets taken into here. We'll mix it with honey into some mead. And then once this is like the mixing area, they'll probably have some kind of like, maybe they take from these jars that are already begun fermenting. Maybe they take like yeast or something else. Or actually, this could kind of look like yeast powder. And have that in the corner here instead of this pot. Yeah, this is the yeast, so then they sprinkle some of the yeast in. So they sprinkle some of the yeast in, and once they're done, they then take that over into there. Yeah, to ferment. Add some final details in here though. Get rid of this in the ceiling. We don't need that. And I really don't think there's too much that needs to be put up around the place. Could put a little bit of a railing. Love all the rain noises. It's very fun on the tile roof. I'll put some more honey storage over here, I think. Maybe one here along the wall. And then the rest of our distilled stuff is gonna go on the back here, which I'm gonna have to clear out my shulkers, find a spot for them, and figure out how I want the end of this to go. Because I originally was hoping for kind of like a way down into a basement. But I don't know if I need a basement, because this is kind of already my basement. So here we have some aged mead that's properly fermenting. We have access maybe down here to like a downstairs basement. I don't know. But yeah, we have some fermenting stuff here. I also think it might be fun to have some that haven't really begun fermenting just yet, or are just in the very early stages of fermenting. Even though this might make it a little bit inconvenient to get around to some of my items and everything like that, here we will have some of the fresh mead that has just begun aging. And then maybe one of them has already aged. So we got a bunch of jars here, ready to go, ready to turn into some nice mead to sell. And then I think we'll keep hold of the rest of these, and maybe we can have a bit of a profitable business at spawn or something like that. Maybe we start selling some things. I'm sure it'll go just fine. I think I might put another door on one of these exits. Also, I don't think I've mentioned where I got the heads from, so I will leave a link in the description to the person who created the amazing designs for the heads. I've also used them before in the past during my castle build for some of the head decals I used doing that. Their name is Flight of Stars over on minecraftskins.com, and they have some absolutely amazing decorative designs for heads. Highly recommend to check them out if you need some. And I'll just add 2 more of these distilled mead. Now, I think this is a pretty good storage room, and I'm very happy with it. The shulkers aren't exactly historically accurate, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I need them. They're necessary for the rest of it to be built. But I think I am really enjoying this interior for this whole section now, and I like the lore that it adds to the area. It gives a real purpose as to why this building is, one, fancier than it is. It would make a lot of money selling mead to all over the place, plus selling to the tavern here, you know, and to other towns far beyond this. It also makes sense why I have so many barrels and things like that in here, outside of just me needing to store my things. But yeah, I am very happy with this. I think the final thing we need to do is, first of all, I also extended this little bit of land outwards because I'm going to probably build a cliff face. I do want to eventually extend. I want to connect the river through here, and so I'll build a whole cliff face once I do that. I raised the terrain so that it could all be a little bit flatter, but I will add a little bit more flooring to this area, and I think from there, really the only area of my house, my new house. I have a place to live. Can you believe that? You know, even in season 1, I didn't have a place to live in my nice castle for like the longest time. But from there, I only really need to do my interior. And since we're a wealthy house, we're going to have a proper entrance and dining room here to greet guests and hang out with them. A nice kitchen. Very large. And I think this is the dining room actually, and this is the living room. Oops. Back to front. A nice living room to greet guests, a nice dining room. Got some bedrooms here and a nice ensuite bathroom. These people are rich enough to be able to hire a maid, a live-in butler or something like that to live in their house and do their accounting. I think one of these rooms I might turn into a nice office so that, you know, if you're running a meadery like this, you're probably gonna have a lot of accounting to do. We also have room in the attic, so I might put some stuff in the attic as well. But yeah, we just gotta do the interior, and I am going to do a little bit of a time lapse, a final time lapse for that one to finish things off. And with that, we have a finished interior of my house. And I made it pink because I thought that was fun to match the pink on the exterior. We got some jars of mead in here. You know, this is the mead owner. You sit down here by the fire and have a nice glass of mead. Do you drink mead out of glasses? I have no clue. We have a little kitchen in here with a little cactus up there above the working fireplace here, working oven. In here we have ourselves a nice dining room. There is a poor rabbit on the table that didn't quite make it. Sad life. We've got the new paintings in, which, by the way, I really love these. I want to use them so much now that we have access to them. As you can see, I have used a great deal of them in this house. In here is my bedroom, which I can sleep in. This is where I sleep now. A nice bathroom in here. Bathtub, look out, we have a nice view of the bees from our bathtub. And then we also get a nice balcony here, you know, overlooking the wheat and a little bit of this area, which we have plans for that. That's going to be our little town square is going to be around here, and I have some plans on how this is going to be laid out that we'll get to eventually. And then in here we have my office, you know, in case I need to speak with anyone ever. I think Ten's the only person I ever really see online these days. Everyone else is at very different hours to me. Here's another bedroom, just an extra one we have. And here is another bedroom for, potentially, I don't know. I was thinking this could be like the butler's quarters or the maid's quarters or something like that. But I'm not sure. We have this whole area. I ended up not having the attic be accessible because this is what it looks like up here. I didn't think there was much room to do anything with it, so no attics available for us, but we do have the downstairs, which is our lovely storage area, and potentially we'll have more in the basement. I've just connected this down to this underground area here, which is just beneath the path up here. But to finish this off right here at the end, I feel like there's one final detail that we need to find a proper place for, not just in my storage, you know. I don't feel like that does it justice. I think we need a better spot for this. And we have a nice house now, so we have a nice area that we could potentially put it in. I feel like this is, you need it in a welcoming location where everyone who will visit me can see it center front, you know? Need to hang it up somewhere, maybe over the fireplace. You know, I feel like this could be a good spot. Cool and live, cool and laugh, cool and love. Yeah, the best sign that I could possibly have in my house. And with that, I think my house is done. This is strange. I wonder how it even showed up in my place to begin with and in everyone else's houses. That's so weird. Anyway, hope you guys— oh, I've fallen and I cannot get up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. We built a house. I have a house. I live in a place. I'm no longer just in an underground bunker area. I don't know what I was living in down here, but you know, storage system really— I needed to live somewhere special other than the storage system. So we have that now. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.